All right, it had been a few Olympic cycles. Some secret backdoor handshakes here, weak punishments aside there. Enough time lapsing where people may have forgotten, but make no mistake about it, the Russians doping in the Olympics are back. How about that 15-year-old figure skater who's been like the subject of controversy?
Dude, yeah, that's bullshit that she still gets to compete.
Right. Yeah. So here's what it is like, well, first of all, she got, they drug test and it's like, okay, hey, this is a banned substance. And she's like, oh, it's for my heart. I have a heart condition. But it's like all this, what's going on with Brendan for the visual audience? It's got the mystical puff pen. But they basically ruled, hey, she can compete, but if she somehow medals, we're not going to give her the ceremony. And it was like, okay, who's even watching the Olympics is my main question.
Jack threw the Olympics on the other night, and I was like, the Olympics are on right now? I had no clue.
I only threw it on. I only wanted to see Shaun White, but it was like 2 hours early, so I just turned it off. But
me and Grant only watched the snowboarding half pipe, and we got like a free preview on NBC. And it was during that free preview that we saw the greatest half pipe run of all time by this
no fucking way
Japanese guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get up for the Olympics. I'm like, miss me with that. I was just like, what do we want? Curling? I know curling's fucking lit to some people, but it's like, come on. It happens every 4 years. Like,
dude, I was talking about this the other day. I was like, how do you get into curling?
I feel like
dude, it's apparently huge up here. Like, we might have to do it up here. I'll get some vlog content.
I feel like to get into curling, you have to be homeschooled and like not have friends. Like that's such a homeschool sport.
Or you're white and you're just looking at your options. You're like, you know what? Maybe the sport with the broom and ice skates might be for me. But yeah, I think there is curling here. Like one of my buddies is interested about it.
What about luge or bobsled? How do you get
I feel like I would die.
Yeah, that shit's fucking insane.
Are there just like luge tracks around that you?
I don't think so. Not up here. I do pass this like kind of hill. It's like St. Louis. Like we don't really have mountains, so we've got like a bunny hill for skiing, snowboarding here. But Wisconsin's where you go for, I guess, the best Midwest skiing.
It's also crazy all the variations they have in the Olympics, like the skiing where they literally are just like running on their skis across like the, and then they have like the flips and shit. It's wild.
So I mean, everyone's just watching Shaun White. I don't really like, is there a sport you tune into that's like, damn, I gotta watch this? Because I'm a basketball fan, but I don't give a crap when the USA goes and waxes Spain. Like, that's not even enjoyable to me.
I like hockey, but I don't even know, is that going as the US?
I think it is. Yeah, they just got eliminated actually.
I like in the Summer Olympics watching like the sprinters. I think that shit's crazy. Sure. Or like the dude who breaks the mile and runs.
People get up for women's gymnastics too. That's summer. With Simone Biles. I think Putin threatened to invade Ukraine just to get the attention off his prized figure skater. And now she gets to compete. He's like, all right, let's de-escalate. That's interesting. So again, it's like I'm hearing we're kind of just sitting and waiting. It's like, is Putin lying or what's up with that? But Jack, talk to us about the Phoenix Open.
Dude, we gotta go. It's literally one of the coolest things I've ever been to.
Oh my God.
I mean, dude, the amount of people there and just like, and also like we were worried like if our tickets were like real or if everything's good, blah, blah. But like they literally, it's like that meme of that dude patting people down. They let everyone just walk in there. And we should have waited in line for the 16th hole, but since we just wanted to, see everything the first year, like you got to get there early if you want to be like general admission on the 16th hole.
Right.
But we were like right outside of it when they hit the hole in one. It was loud as shit.
Yeah, like golfers were walking in, obviously, to the stadium course, and they were like, "Hey, show us the replay," because they just heard it because they were on other holes, and they're like, "Holy shit!" That was the craziest thing I think I've ever watched in my life. Was seeing just, and it happened twice this weekend. It hadn't happened in 7 years, and it happens twice in the same weekend.
But it's no lie about the type of party it is. Like you walk in and there's people passed out, and it's crazy. Like thinking of them. Like we walked right in, and the first hole we walked up to was Brooks putting, and it was so cool that he was just.
Dude,
like,
yeah, I was like, I'm watching golf more times than not. I fuck with the PGA Tour, and it's like, I was like, damn, I heard that the Waste Management Phoenix Open was going to be obviously in Arizona next year, but lands on the same weekend as Super Bowl, which is in Phoenix. And it's like, holy shit. And then I texted everyone, and I realized, wait a second, Jack is there. I pull up your stat chapter. You're right next to Brooks, who I'm watching like the whole time. And so you got in without really any trouble, and you had a ball.
Yeah, I had a fucking awesome time. Then we went to Kygo after, who was at the Waste Management Open. That was fucking sweet. But a crazy story from there that was just kind of random. I was like waiting for a drink, and I bumped into this like dad, and I was like, "Oh, I like your hat." And he was like about to walk away. He's like, "Oh, where are you from?" I'm like, "Dallas." He's like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "Where are you from?" He's like, "St. Louis." I'm like, "What?" With like hundreds of thousands of people there. And he's like, "Yeah, my kids went to Eureka." I'm like, "Dude, how are you the guy I bump into?" Like that was just kind of crazy.
No, that's always a phenomena. Is like you always. My mom always says, she like, when we went on trips as kids, she's like, "Who am I going to see who I know here?" It's like, and it happens. It's like, holy shit,
dude. At my haircut today, I met this guy who was a paramedic in East St. Louis for 10 years.
I can only imagine.
He goes, on average, he would see 5 homicides a day.
Bro, I mean, Kelsey has horror stories from the ER here in Minneapolis. I can only imagine, like, resuscitating people in East St. Louis. So, we're going next year. Book it. We've got a place. I think it would be awesome. Super Bowl week. Like, I'm trying to get out there Wednesday through Monday. I don't know. Like, we'll do a whole event, but obviously we'll figure that out off air. I got a 4K camera, which I'm bringing to Arizona. I'm going this week, actually. I'm hoping to get a ton of cool content. I'm bringing my golf clubs. I'm hoping to play at the Phoenix Open, and they still have it up unless they tore it down. I don't know.
Also, Arizona in general is fucking sick. That was
right.
I've only been there when I was little, and that place is sweet.
I'm ready to just get in. Jesus Christ, I'm ready to just get out to warmer weather. It's like mid 60s, and I'm like, sign me up. I'm like, take me there. So we're going to be heavy celeb watching out there. I tell you what, Super Bowl week, but we might have to keep our head on a swivel because Kodak Black gets shot outside Justin Bieber's after party in downtown LA.
Yeah. What's the story with that?
He like got jumped, or like his bodyguards got jumped, and he was trying to help him out and just got shot in the leg. Like I watched the video. I think TMZ had it, and you can hear it pop, pop, pop. Like you could like hear the gunshots, and it's just like a crowd dispersing.
So he got shot, or like someone in his posse got shot?
Kodak Black got shot in the leg, and he went to the hospital, but he was stable.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like if you get shot as a rapper and you survive, that's actually a good thing for your career because it
right. Are we? Do you like compare bullet wounds though?
Gives you more cred, like how 50 Cent raps about how he got shot 9 times all the time.
Right. And it's like, Kodak's like, I got shot too. It's like, well, did it graze your ankle? It's like, what
50
happened?
Cent got lit up 9 times.
That dude was on life support. How about 50 Cent as a cameo for the halftime Super Bowl halftime?
Didn't he get shot in the head too?
Yeah.
Kodak?
No,
50 Cent. That I don't know about.
People were flaming him though, saying that he's now 60 Cent with inflation because he's like a lot bigger when he was hanging out.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. I mean, that's all destined for us. Did you feel old watching the Super Bowl? I was rocking with it. I'm like, shit. Actually, music, I actually fuck with. I guess the weekend too, but like, I don't know. I felt it was like nostalgic getting to see those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was sweet.
Even some of like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg were, mainly before our time, I would say.
Yeah. I got chills when he went on the piano and started doing Still Dre.
It's funny to see the difference in generations though. Like my 80-year-old aunt in like this small town Illinois posted like, not really sure who these people are, like changing it. And some dude commented, some dude from her town. It was like stupid, senseless, and dumb. I changed it immediately.
Yeah, I was immediately saying, like, I was with a bunch of young people. Well, I guess, old mid to 20s to older, 27s up to 30. But it's like, I was just the comment I'm watching. I'm like, how many fucking old white guys or people are just triggered right now? They're like, oh, get this off my television. What is this hip hop rap? Yeah, it was definitely polarizing. But hey, I thought it was pretty cool. Julia Fox and Ye are done after a quote whirlwind romance that lasted under 2 months.
They're done?
They're
Yeah.
done.
What happened?
Can it be a whirlwind romance if it lasts under 2 months? But
So they
I saw she posted, she was like, I was never in love with them. Like, what do you think I am? 12 years old. I'm like, she's like, I'm a hustler.
yeah.
what was that relationship?
I mean, how can you be in a relationship with someone like Kanye West when all they're doing the whole time is trying to get their ex back?
Mhm. And it was like their interactions in public were just like him just like head bobbing to his own music and her just like chilling there lost in a different planet.
Yeah. Yeah, she was severely fucked up off Molly in like every video you would see.
Yeah. She's like, oh, cool. Antonio Brown's here just so I want to hang out with.
Yeah.
How about Kanye at the Super Bowl wearing that mask?
Yeah, what was going on there?
Tyreek
How about
Hill-
his meltdown? I was trying to keep up with that where he's, creating memes of himself and Pete Davidson.
Dude, the funniest shit ever is that he calls Pete Davidson Skeet. That's in all the texts he sent to. He just says it so casually. Like he texted Kim, like she's like, you need to stop this. Like Pete's gonna get hurt. Like someone's gonna do something reckless. And he's like, don't worry. I told everyone no harm to Skeet.
Yeah, it's like getting ugly. Like they're fucking airing their dirty laundry now where Kim feels like she has to, go in the public eye and be like, hey, could you chill out for just a fucking day?
Yeah, Skeet Davidson. I don't think he has social media, but I just imagine like Kim showing him every post. He's just high as balls, just laughing his ass off.
Kim's like, God damn it.
Yeah,
Kanye's trending again.
Someone said Kanye's literally writing his next stand-up for him.
Yeah,
Like
no kidding. The first words out of Pete Davidson's mouth going to be like, so Kanye here, like it's just gonna be something funny as fuck.
And people are arguing.
Go ahead, Jack. Oh, could you imagine like a roast of Kanye West like they did with Justin Bieber?
Oh my god.
No, he would not be able to do it.
Host it.
Be a mean host.
So people are like fucking arguing that he's like just trying to get his family back. I'm like, dude, he looks insane. He's just like blasting her on Instagram.
Yeah, I know. It's like I don't understand it. Kanye is Kanye, but excuse me, yay. Julia Fox, the interview, which look at it from her thing. She blew up. Before it was just like, oh, that's the chick from Uncut Gems, right? Because she was with Kanye. Now she hits the interview, Uncut Gem. And then she hits the interview segment. That shit has me so weak.
That's hilarious.
I mean, she's just like, what the? I was listening to that interview. I'm just like, huh? What is a muse? Okay, he likes to dress you. What do you? Did he spoon feed you? What's going on there?
What interview was this? Wasn't
He
she
was
on
on-
Call Her Daddy?
He was on
Call
Call
Her
Her
Daddy.
Daddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long do we think Pete and Kim will last?
They should just
Maybe
get
like-
married at this point.
What
I think Kanye would spontaneously combust if that happened.
I think like a couple more months, honestly.
Yeah, Pete's just got to be like, Jesus Christ, could we get a fucking pizza in Staten Island without me fearing for my life? Awkward transition, but at the beginning of Super Bowl week, it was reported Bob Saget died of head trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Could we get some answers there? What? Huh? What happened? What did you just get casually hit over the head with a 2x4? And you're like, all right, I'll go to sleep. What do you mean?
Fell and had a concussion and then fell asleep on his concussion.
So was he just like wasted? Like he couldn't find his
They
his bed?
claimed there was no drugs or alcohol, but like, how often do you just slip and hit your head?
Right. Yeah. So that was, I don't know if we have anything else there. I just thought that was crazy. I was like, wait a second, what maybe they're trying to, I didn't know what happened there. Could you imagine though? Like, and I think I've only been slightly concussed once, but like, yeah, that is dangerous where it's like, hey, don't go to sleep.
I always thought that was a myth, but I guess not.
Right.
Oh no, it's not. You
Yeah.
are not supposed to fall asleep on it.
That's
Jesus
crazy.
Christ.
Well, let's get rid of the terrible subject matter here. The New York Times did kind of a piece on the opioid crisis, which I didn't realize how bad it was. Killing over 100,000 Americans every year. Euphoria does a great job of showing kind of the dark side of, people addicted to especially opiates. And I think it's crazy how doctors, they outlined like big pharma and then doctors who were kind of pill pushers because they were just trying to get money on the side. And people were just looking for a cure to the pain. And people were like, well, here's the cure, except we're not going to tell you it's super fucking addictive. And now
Jack,
it's a gateway.
What was that documentary? The Pharmacist?
Yeah.
There was this pharmacist or this doctor that would only work at nighttime, and she would give out the Holy Trinity. It was Xanax, opioids,
Oxy.
Oxy. Yeah.
and she would give it to kids too.
Right.
Dude, it's wild. You should watch it on
It's
Netflix.
so good. Basically, this pharmacist kid dies of it, like a
Yeah.
drug interaction, and he like tries to end it. But
yeah, if you do some digging into that, like what's going on in Florida with like, okay, your son's addicted to opiates. Okay, we need to get help. Well, there's not really help out there, and then there's people in Florida that trick you. And like they run like these sham rehab facilities. Like they really don't give you. They just circle you around to different rehabs, and it's just rich people with troubled kids dumping money into something that's not helping. And then hey, they kick them back out, and they're not able to cope with the world. And more times than not, they end up taking their own life or something. Well, not taking it, but losing their life. Either or.
I didn't know that about the rehab.
Yeah, it's like, of course it's in Florida. That's where A-Rod's going to get roids allegedly from, a skin doctor, all sorts of Medicare fraud down there. Like why I noticed this in Euphoria. When she was going through the withdrawal, why did she keep yawning? Like there's so many symptoms that show is teaching me about of someone who's like gripped by drug addiction. Like when she was depressed that she wasn't peeing, like she couldn't pee. You remember that shit? I've never heard any of that.
Yeah, it's some of that's hard to watch. Like when she's
the
like going,
needle part.
Oh God, I literally watched like I was going to that scary movie with Brendan that one time. I put the popcorn over my eyes.
Same.
I can't believe she got out of there. Spoiler alert.
Dude, that chase scene was insane.
Because they were definitely trying to just get her hooked and sell her.
Oh, they were going to sell her for sex. Yeah, they were going to sell her as a human slave, sex trafficking, which was crazy.
I'm surprised that lady hasn't gone after her.
Oh, she'll be
is that
back.
coming
She's
up? Yeah.
Gotta be.
I thought, it was hard. I thought the best episode, like that chase scene, I thought that was awesome. Like, that was one of the best episodes I had seen. So then this episode was just meh, I thought.
She's got to come back because they haven't addressed the suitcase yet.
Right, exactly. Which is, oh my God, when it's like I flushed them and I was like, holy shit, you don't realize what you did. Like you just killed your kid. Like my only addiction that was super hard to get rid of was obviously cigarettes, which I can actually confidently say, like, I don't have a craving for cigarettes anymore. And online blackjack for a period of time. What happened there? I can only imagine if I felt that addiction to like Coke or pills, like, where it's like, even with cigarettes, where it's like, shit, I felt it sometimes where I was like so stressed that I would drive myself to a gas station. I can only imagine having like, holy shit, I need something. All right, I'm going to go rob a house for pills,
Wait, speaking of online blackjack, can we talk about your stint? Dylan played 3 hands when he was doing his live stream.
Yeah.
It doubled down on one of them. Lost $400 in less than a minute.
No, what was funny was, we're waiting for the title fight and like the mics in front of us, obviously they were talking into it, but it was just like an off conversation. Like I was just like, hey, Ty, should I play some online blackjack? And then all of a sudden you could just see my face just like melting as I lost the $200 hand. And like, I just look into the camera. It's like, there were some funny moments there. I enjoyed doing that.
It's because you couldn't get the final tight bet in because you were too late and you just needed to like throw a ton of money at something and you're just like scrolling your book. Like, should I play blackjack?
Oh God. It was a fun weekend. I'll tell you what. What do I have here? Last thing is my dad, like he was always like, don't take medicine. He was like, hey, if you have a headache, you don't have to take ibuprofen. And when I had my wisdom teeth out, he purposely kept me away from the oxys. And I thank him for that. It was just like, shit, I don't want to accidentally like take too much because I feel like I'm in pain from wisdom teeth and have that addiction. Okay, but enough of that. Can someone explain to me why a good amount of people listen to podcasts at 1.5 speed? I don't understand it.
It's because, I mean, if you're listening to a long podcast, you might not
Right.
have time. Like for Joe Rogan, for example, his are
Mhm.
over 3 hours long sometimes, I think. So you can still like hear and understand what they're saying at 1.5 speed, but you just don't have to. But I do agree that it definitely takes away from like just the presentation.
Like it feels distorted to me.
Exactly. Yeah,
kind
it's
of.
definitely distorted. I guess it's just for people who are short on time but want to listen to the content.
Right. I like to do, I hit the 30-second button, like skip ahead. Obviously, that's what once we get advertisers, I want to find, because here's what people don't do well with podcasts is they obviously cut to a clear cut previously read ad and everyone's like, oh, tune out, skip it. What does that do for the advertiser? You got to come up with a creative way every single time for keeping people engaged. And I think KFC does a good job of that.
Wait, is there a 1.5 button on Spotify?
On Apple Pods, right? I
But
don't
it is
know.
on Apple Pods.
Yeah.
I can't believe that advertisers like pay and you're just allowed to skip it.
I don't think they realize.
I've never
I
understood.
think they do realize it, but they probably,
And they're probably like, what can they do?
They pay way less than they would for like, something where you couldn't skip it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is like radio advertising's dying, so you would say, where would you rather have your money, in radio advertising or podcast advertising right now? Even if it is, hey, they're skipping your shit. But the thing with that too is you still know the brand associated with,
Yeah, maybe it's more people that don't skip or something, then maybe it's worth it.
Yeah, who knows? But again, and I just don't think anyone's done it creatively yet. It's like, oh, here's how you do it. Give me have some sales guy write me up a 30-second, boring ass commercial. That's what I liked about selling radio advertising in South Dakota was like, hey, I can actually write a kick ass commercial for you guys and like sell your shit in a creative way. Tinder is adding a blind date feature. Who is doing that?
What does it consist of? Like, you don't even
like it gives you the option to, I guess, set up a blind date. Like maybe it's just based on messaging and kind of your interests, but you don't get to see what the person looks like.
Oh God.
So it's like a toggle. You can hide the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Who would ever fucking do that?
Maybe it's like old people. It's got to be like divorced people. Like, oh shit, what's this Tinder thing? All right, maybe, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll go on a old blind date. It must cater to old people.
Yeah.
No, that's like a fantasy football punishment, I feel like.
Go on a blind date. Well, the funny thing about that is, we're all in time immediacy on demand now. Again, if you're going on a blind date, it's like you have a 50-50 chance of wasting 2 to 3 hours of a night of your life. If you're just like, nope, as soon as she walks in, you're like, this ain't working.
Wait, in order to go on the blind date, though, you can't see their pictures at all. So you have to be scrolling with no pictures.
And I don't know how they're setting it up, but that's the new feature. It's like, hey, would you like to try the blind date feature? And I imagine then there's people there doing it, like you could be one or the other. Hey, you could do regular Tinder or.
That just sounds even more dangerous than the other fucking Tinder things that have happened. Like, what if some dude just goes on it and then he just shows up to the bar to see who you are, and then you like.
It's like, hey, would you want a blind Uber driver? Well, not blind, but like, you don't want to see any of his ratings.
That's
like, yeah.
Jack, can you investigate for us?
Dude, yeah, I'll do some research. But speaking of Tinder, Dylan, you watched the Tinder Swindler?
No, I saw it was one of your selections of the week, though, and I've heard people talking about it. What are your thoughts?
Dude, Platt's watched it too. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Like, you should definitely, it's worth the watch. Like,
it's crazy because scammers like don't get in any trouble really for the amount of shit they can do.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy, I won't spoil it, but his jail time was not much at all. And like the Firefest guy, what did he go to jail for like a year?
Right. Yeah, they always find some way out of it. But it wasn't it basically like this guy just lived like an elaborate lie, and the lies would just like how I think one of the commentary I heard was like, how are these women falling for it? But
Absolutely. Yeah.
All I know is that anybody can get scammed. I know like really competent people that have gotten scammed.
sure.
And this guy stole tens of millions from competent people. And like they just don't get punished. It's just crazy to me. And like
Right.
the cops like don't give a fuck.
Because he was playing with their emotions, and like they technically would just give it to him. So,
Right.
like,
That's crazy.
That's why
He's a
he can't-
manipulator. You
Yeah.
know, he's
but definitely worth the watch. It's interesting.
Brendan, you have been to my house in Connecticut. My mom sent me an article. You know, it's like, God, it's like, you know, New Canaan, Connecticut. And then we kind of, you know, there's a lot of woods, I guess, but Connecticut's not like, you know, you're not thinking wildlife. My mom sent me an article that said black bear spottings have like tripled in New Canaan. And I'm just like they're just walking on residential roads, like Briscoe Road, like literally right by my fucking house, black bear sighting. What the fuck? Could you even imagine that? Bears living amongst us. But it's just like, I think too, is because spring is getting warmer quicker, that they're coming out more and looking for food, going through people's goddamn trash cans and shit.
Where are they coming from? Like, where do they live at?
Like Maine, maybe, I don't know, or like New York State, probably. And they're crossing the Merritt Parkway.
Randy Corbett's gonna get mauled playing tennis.
Dude, but I'm thinking about like bringing my dogs to Connecticut. I don't want to leave them out in the, you know, yard. Like we had coyotes. A lot of people have coyotes, but black bears. Like I was seeing photos of these fuckers too. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Which bears are the most dangerous?
Isn't it grizzly?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Polar can't be fucked with too much, unless you just like blow hot air at them. Unless you just fuck with their climate.
Yeah.
Fucking animals, they're gonna die. Has anyone? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I think you're right. I think polar and grizzly are the two like meanest and deadliest.
Yeah, but no bears to be fucked with. Just
Yeah.
losing themselves.
Fucking
You just, you know, spray. You just turn your car exhaust on, and they're toast.
Yeah.
oh god.
Has anyone played Roblox? I
have
wrote
not.
this before. Their stock tanked 24% today.
Oh my goodness, why?
Well, it was like, so here's what's funny. It was like they missed earnings by like a little bit after they've crushed earnings because pandemic growth, everyone's playing online. So they missed it barely. And then a couple of analysts come out and say, yeah, kids are going outside. Okay, what, 24 hours a day? They're obviously still spending most of their time inside. And what are they doing in there? Twiddling their thumbs. So I think it's like a great time to get in, discount. You know, when Facebook IPO'd, they got hammered for 2 years. Now they're $300. Roblox, the same shit, in my opinion. But yeah, I've never, like, it's kids. I've never played it. But is it, because I wonder if I've seen clips of it. Is this what Speed plays? Like when he streams and it's like him like in the metaverse, and then there's like SpongeBob characters, Simpsons characters. You guys know what I'm talking about with some of these clips? But I don't know.
I know what you're talking about. I just don't get Roblox. Like it's so out there. Every clip I see of Roblox is so different.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get it.
Did you guys ever get into Minecraft? Like I never did, and I think that's something similar, right? Or it's just like,
I don't know. I slightly got into Minecraft, but I don't know if it's similar or not.
Yeah, I was just interested because I believe in this company based on the fact that kids are obviously playing this, but I don't think it's our demo until, you know, the metaverse creeps up to us, because I think they could be a player. Okay, so Ian Corbett was our guest last week. It was a very introspective. People enjoyed it. I had a lot of feedback. So I didn't plan this. It was just I was kind of talking about. I was like, you know, Ian like swears on his life that Aaron Rodgers is gay. Just like I was just like, what? You know, like he's like, oh yeah, I swear. And I'm like, I've never heard that before. Like, you know, I guess I take Ian's word for it, right?
Do they know? Do you think?
Do they have gaydar?
Yeah, they have gaydar. You think?
That's what I'm saying. Like Ian, like if he's calling his shot as confidently as someone that I think has been maybe rumored, but you never really heard anything about it. And then the news comes out today that him and Shailene Woodley call off their engagement.
I saw that.
And it's just like, didn't work out with Danica Patrick. His family doesn't talk to him. What could that possibly be about?
Maybe Shailene Woodley heard Ian and had second thoughts.
Yeah, or maybe she was like, hey, are you actually interested in me? I don't know. Rodgers could be figuring himself out, but that would be nuts. Because it's one thing to have Carl Nassib, and the point is Carl Nassib kind of said when he came out, and it's like, hey, I hope this doesn't have to be a thing anymore. But the reality is it still is kind of a thing. If Rodgers did that, it would be like, the face of the NFL, and everyone would be like, how the hell? That would be stunning, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't believe he got the MVP, didn't he?
That was horseshit.
How
about his look now? What is he going for?
I hate his hair.
Yeah.
To cut that shit.
What's going on there? He's looking a little like Caitlyn Jenner. What happened there? Come on.
Is he still the Jeopardy host?
No, I think that's probably done and sold, signed, sealed, delivered.
Wait, how did Cooper Kupp get the triple crown and not win the MVP? It makes no sense.
It's a receiver. That's just how it
Are
happens.
they not allowed to win the MVP?
I don't know. It's kind of just like it's a phenomenon. People just vote for quarterbacks. It's like the quarterback award, but yeah, it's unfair. Cooper Kupp, I mean, he gets the Super Bowl MVP, I think rightfully so. I had an 18-1 future on Aaron Donald. I thought you could make an argument for, but
Really?
Yeah, he made the game-sealing play. He had 2 sacks. He's busting up the game the entire time. I was like, come on.
Did he retire too? I heard he was
Speculation. I imagine he comes back for one more year.
I don't know, man.
He hasn't been in the league that long, has he?
Dude, he secretly has. He was back in St. Louis, for a couple of years.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We just realized that he was a really good player, right as he was leaving St. Louis. So speaking of brothers' accusations, Brendan, do you remember your brother's Jim Edmonds accusation?
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah. My brother claims that he has a friend who's a lawyer, or my brother does have a friend who's a lawyer who's gay. And my brother walked into his house one time, and my brother's like, why do you have all this Jim Edmonds signed memorabilia in your house? And he's like, I basically suck him off for it. And
What?
he's like, yeah, Jim Edmonds is gay. He exchanges his memorabilia in exchange for sexual favors.
What?
So actually, I'm sorry, it's not my brother's friend who's the lawyer. My brother has a friend whose friend is the lawyer. So he kind of heard it from a friend of a friend sort of thing.
Jim Edmonds has got you hear about his messy, life, him and his wife are having threesomes that don't go as planned. And then he's out with other women, and he's supposedly making out with dudes at bars. It's crazy. And he's still, I think he's the top broadcaster or commentator for the Cardinals.
He's had 4 wives, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's going through a messy divorce right now, I think. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't do White Lotus. I gave it another go, and I was just enough of this. I thought it was cheesy. I didn't think the acting was good.
What's White Lotus?
I still haven't watched it.
It's so different than everything else. You love it, Jack.
Maybe we should watch it, Brendan.
It's a 7 episode miniseries on HBO.
Okay.
And it's it got an 8 out of 10 kind of. And we learned when my brother was on Austin that we are related to the guy that created it. So a new guest on Wingin It possibly coming up. Mike Smith, creator of White Lotus. Don't tell him my thoughts. So that might be in the works. Yeah. So watch it. Let me know.
What's the relation?
He's like a cousin. He's like a second cousin of us, Mike White.
You're gonna be like, oh yeah, this podcast, check it out. He's gonna listen to this episode and be like, yeah,
yeah, literally, he's going to sift through. He's going to search his name and find out how we've slandered him, what we've talked about. I am hoping to. I'm bringing all my equipment out to Arizona. I'm hoping to talk to Kevin Schumacher this week out in Arizona about his brother's show, Abbott Elementary. He created it. I've seen it trend on Twitter. I haven't watched it, but I've heard it's done pretty well.
Is that the it's comedy show?
It's on ABC. Yeah, it's they're doing something like a new twist on kind of the old sitcom.
Yeah, apparently it's pretty funny.
Yeah, so I think that'd be interesting. So I'd like to talk to Kevin and maybe eventually his brother. So look for that in the future. That's it for me. Shall we get to some tea with Jack D?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Snoop Dogg bought Death Row Records, which is pretty crazy because that was the whole Suge Knight's thing from Tupac, and Suge Knight is like who apparently killed Tupac.
Right.
And so Snoop like bought it back, and because Suge Knight's like in jail, and he's announcing it's going to be an NFT record label. So like artists are going to be able to profit off themselves, and you can buy like stuff and be a part of it. And there was also some shade that Snoop Dogg threw at the Super Bowl because how like all the little white houses that were like the whole set, there was a sign for this burger shop, and it was the burger shop that Suge Knight
Wow.
killed someone in front of. So he was like trolling him. Yeah, I'll send it to you guys.
Couple things there. One, Snoop Dogg looked like he did 20 years ago. What was up with the halftime show where they just completely cut off? Like it was a cool setup, but it wasn't see-through. The back half was all solid. Half the people didn't even get to watch it. Except they crane their necks at the goddamn fucking SoFi video board. And then last is have you any more NFT ventures since your last one, Jack?
I'm trying to read a little bit more now. Nothing crazy so far, but I want to try to do well on it. So,
dude, I heard you sold your shit the day after you got it.
Dude, yeah, OmniSoul, if he's listening,
didn't you make a profit though? That's what I was telling.
I did make a profit because OmniSoul, I was like, yo, I don't really know what I'm doing. Here's the project. Give me your opinions. And he was like, honestly, like you got it for a good price. Looks like they're just hyping it and it's gonna fall off. I'd sell, and I made a profit. And now the floor price is lower, so I'll take it.
See, I'm holding on to my 3. Like I'm not even checking it daily because I think they're cool. Yeah. What if I said my donkey one to Amsel? He's gonna be like, nice choice, Dill. But it's like I don't know, because it's like once the metaverse becomes a thing, and I'm just gonna what am I gonna hang up my NFTs in my fucking metaverse home that I'll buy with real world 2.0 real estate? I don't know, just keep them for the future. And then that's what I'm saying. Like if all of a sudden I see holy shit, Soul Yetis are coming across my fucking timeline or something, then I'm gonna be like, all right, shit, maybe I get back in or list it,
Okay, a 14-year-old girl is arrested after trying to hire a hitman to murder her ex-boyfriend. That's pretty young.
How did she know where to find a fucking hitman?
I don't know, but that's pretty crazy.
I imagine, like, is she like typing in the words hitman online and or going through the yellow pages, hitman?
When horrible bosses, when they go on Craigslist and the dude shows up.
She just goes up to a bar, like a dive bar. Hey, can anyone here kill people?
Yeah. The DeLorean, the car from Back to the Future, is coming back as an electric vehicle. That'll be kind of crazy.
Ooh, how about how many EV vehicles we saw? The Super Bowl, what do you guys think of the commercials? I just think I can only imagine how overwhelmed old people were. We're just like, wait, is that Larry David in what's that crypto? What?
Yeah. The Coinbase one with the QR code.
That was crazy.
Did you guys get out your phones and scan it?
I didn't.
I was looking down at the time, and then this like weird dude who was at the Super Bowl party like gets up and is like dancing around the TV, and I'm like, what are you doing? But then I read more about the ad, and I was like, oh, it's Coinbase, and it was literally just that. It was brilliant because they knew there was going to be people watching with their parents and kids, and they knew millennials were just going to run up there and be like, holy shit. And even if the parents didn't get it, they would see and know about it.
Yeah, it was a good idea.
Super smart.
Yeah, I don't know the exact numbers, but someone tweeted the breakdown of like, because
I think they paid it was $7 million for a 30-second Super Bowl ad, but how easy was that to produce?
And like their like server like crashed because
their Coinbase, the Coinbase app, I think crashed because everyone searched in the app store.
I got out my phone like immediately.
Right. I was honestly looking down and looked up and was pretty confused.
Like I was like befuddled. That the exact same thing happened to me.
Dylan.
All right, we're back. I was saying, the same thing happened to me. I was like befuddled. I was like, what is happening? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, this is kind of crazy for California because that's a whole nother thing that you have to wear masks to school. But like, there was all those people at the Super Bowl. Coachella and Stagecoach, the two big festivals there, just dropped all their COVID safety precautions.
That's huge.
They want the money. They don't want
Yeah.
like
I went to get a
crazy.
haircut today, and finally, like, it was like the first time I saw my barber's face. I was like, oh, I was like, whoa. And it was like, because she was like, yeah, the first time, she's like, it's the first time we dropped the mask mandate the other day. She's like, so I'm not suffocating for 8 hours. I'm like, hey, I fucking feel that. I feel for people who have to like work in the service industry and wear masks while they're serving all unmasked people. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell is the point of that?
Since Kanye's little tirade, he gained 1.5 million followers in 3 days.
Is he a genius?
He might be.
He's something.
Like,
I don't know if
that's
he's genius.
I mean, that's if he wants to run for president, like he's said that before. Like, I don't, you would have thought it was crazy if you said Donald Trump would be president. And it's just, I'm just like, I'm now looking, it's not which senators you like. Who the fuck gives a crap about senators, at least millennials, maybe when we do when we're older. But right now, I'm just like, it's just popularity. It's how many followers you have, how many people you can reach. The Rock, Kanye. That's why you see those weird ass names pop up on the sports betting board that you can bet on for who's next president.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. he's
Elon.
president. Oh, that's also crazy. I forgot about that. That someone found the tax filing that Elon did donate $6 billion to world hunger.
I saw that this morning.
Good for
He
him.
donated $6 billion worth of Tesla stock to
And he
end world hunger.
and he didn't tell anyone. It was just that like the SEC filing came out, and so
To
he
who
actually
though?
it's an
Oh, just
undisclosed
different
charity.
charities.
It's an undisclosed one, so it's probably one that he like
His bank account.
or like that he's like on the board of or something.
Neuralink.
Yeah.
I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard like 15 of the 23 monkeys he tested Neuralink on passed away.
Holy fuck.
So, hey, trial and error, I guess.
This isn't really news, but people were like the New York Post headline about how Snoop Dogg smoked a joint right before he went on stage. It's like, dude,
It was awesome.
yeah, what do you expect? Like, that's literally his brand.
I couldn't imagine, even though I love pot and it's legal in California, I still don't understand how it's legal to light up a joint in the middle of SoFi Stadium, but I loved it.
Is it legal or did he just do it like in the middle of the stadium there?
Yeah, like
you
I
can
don't
just-
think you could smoke. Yeah, it's I don't think you could just smoke walking around. But
I mean, I think it's probably like the same penalty maybe as like lighting a cigarette in SoFi.
right.
So
Sure.
I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna do anything about that.
Yeah, people, you've walked by crowds and you're like, yes, you could smell people getting loud, but I don't think I've ever seen someone like, so actually maybe I have seen someone smoking a blunt at a game or something.
The Young Dolph murder suspects have pled not guilty, so we'll see what happens with that. But
Jesus.
yeah, Logan Paul plans to sue Floyd Mayweather over the fight because he apparently has not seen a dime from, I guess it was like they both were supposed to pay each other or something like that, and he hasn't seen a dime from Floyd.
Dude, like what? I thought these guys are these guys like hemorrhaging money? I don't like, how do you not? I don't understand what is happening with that. You're not getting paid. Bryce Hall was promised millions of dollars. He didn't get his ass paid by his boxing shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Logan Paul went on. So they were live, right, from for Barstool Sports all week. I thought Logan Paul was drunk. I just saw clips, but he looked a little just like kind of, I don't know, out of it or something. It was a bizarre interview.
He could have been. All right, this is some like robot shit. Mark Zuckerberg, employees of Meta will strictly be referred to as MetaMates, not employees.
What does Elon call himself as the title again? It's like the sphincter of excellence or something.
Yeah.
If you're working there, you just gotta be like, what?
Yeah. Virgin Galactic has opened ticket sales to the public. A 90-minute space flight will cost $450,000. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That, I mean, like, if only I had the money. Like, I don't know. If I just had $450K to fucking blow, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. This is pretty big. Disney theme parks have lifted their mandates.
And what was this? I saw that they're building like apartment complexes or like houses on Disneyland. So like you could just live in Disneyland.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa, who's gonna live there? Like pedophiles?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. We should just all put them there. It's just just sex offender, Ville.
There's that place in Florida that is like, have you guys heard of this? That's like this town in Florida that it's like so many square miles, and it's like literally like a community of just sex offenders have made it because they get like told they can't live other places.
Right. Yeah, because you have to report and disclose that.
Yeah. So it's literally like a fucking like where people go retire in the villages, but it's just sex offenders.
Florida, baby.
Yeah. This is kind of crazy. So the Sandy Hook shooting that happened a while ago, 9 Sandy Hook victims, that there was a settlement they sued the gun company Remington for creating a gun that could do that, and they just settled. That's kind of crazy that took that long. And
I didn't know if that was possible. You could like actually sue a gun company. It was like a weapon that was used. Yeah, crazy. Is 73 million? Did Remington pick that up off their shoe? And it's like, oh geez, they dragged them through court through years, and then you just kind of give them whatever they want. But good for the families.
Yeah. And this is in Canada. There's some like socialist shit going on with the truck protests.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what they're protesting about, but they made an Emergencies Act that Canada now has the power to seize trucks used in truck protests and freeze the protesters' bank accounts just if they want to.
I mean, that's sketchy.
How can you just do that?
That's what. Yeah. So I think the truckers are protesting COVID mandates. Like they're just like, like I guess Canada is like as strict as LA probably. And they were like blocking, I guess, a key transportation road to the US, like just crazy, like huge convoys. And yeah, that's the thing too, is like, no matter the president is like, if all of a sudden the government is like having the power to do that, that's not democracy.
DC is also lifting their mandates. The world is healing. People are lifting mandates.
Let's stay healed this time. Jesus Christ. I don't need to see like an Omega come out in fucking summer.
Okay, this is crazy. We all love Wordle, but now Wordle is saving lives. This 80-year-old woman plays Wordle every day and sends it to her daughter when she gets it right. And she woke up to a nude stranger covered in blood holding a pair of scissors in her room, and he was like asleep or like he was like on the floor or something, and her daughter got concerned that like she might have passed away because she's older, so she called because she didn't send her the Wordle word, so she called the police to go do a welfare check, and they found her there and were able to like arrest this dude.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think I did see that. How are you guys in a Wordle group text with your family? I get it every morning from like 5 different people. I'm like, all right, great. Everyone got it. Okay, great. Thanks. Oh, where's Nana? Okay, Nana got it too. Great. It's just funny. It's like, it is crazy how the words have got, dude, cynic. I was like pulling it out different hours, just like, what the fuck is this word?
The word today took me a while too.
I got so lucky. Sometimes I pull it out. Like I had a couple bevies last night, it's like 12:30. I pull it up and I was just like, I think ORA. And then I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. No, that was yesterday.
That was 2 days ago. Yeah, no, sorry. I think I did get O and A and I was just like, oh, fucking.
That, even yesterday took me a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
That New York Times is really making my life more frustrating.
Seriously. Have you seen kind of these knockoffs? Like there was one, which credit to Wordle because they're still the premier one. I saw one that was Quordle where you had to solve 4 different ones at the same time with the same letters. And then there was Worldle, which was they show you a map of a country and you guess, and it goes either east or west of whether you were. That one was tough. I was like, what is that? West Virginia?
I could not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Last thing I have are suggestions. Definitely Tinder Swindler. Got to see that. Pam and Tommy. They're releasing episodes 3 at a time about Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee. First 3 were great. Next 3 come out tonight.
What's that on? Hulu?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently and Seth Rogen and Ron Swanson are in it. It's pretty interesting.
Mm.
And apparently the Kanye documentary came out. I don't know. Brendan said that. I don't know if that's for sure.
I don't know.
Wait, say that again.
Did the Kanye?
Kanye documentary.
I got a Netflix notification today that the Kanye documentary is out, and if you go to Netflix, there's some sort of, it's called Genius, a Kanye trilogy.
Oh, then yeah. Then
But
So it's
Genius,
out. Okay.
Genius is spelled JEEN-YUHS.
Kanye had, final say on this, right?
Yeah,
Or-
I don't know. I mean, he posted that one time,
And then it says Act 2 coming February 23rd. So I guess part 1 is out now.
okay,
Yeah,
and then a
part one.
week later. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes shit. All right. Well, we'll have to
And
check those
then-
out.
and then I want to the Uncharted movie with Tom Holland comes out tomorrow, and Mark Wahlberg. Could be good, could not, but
So
I
I
really-
saw. Sorry, Brent.
I was gonna say I really want to see the new Jackass as well.
oh yeah,
I have a coworker who said they watched it last weekend and it was fucking hilarious and it was just absolutely berserk.
Damn. The on Uncharted, obviously was heavily promoted. Then I saw like the rating release, like probably from people that saw it first, right before it's in theaters. So the rating came out 2 weeks ago and it was like 9 out of 10. I was like, thank God. I checked this week, 6.9, and I'm like, that's how you know. It's
then-
like,
last one that's sneaking up on us, first week of March, new Batman.
ooh.
Yes.
I hope that's good too, because that's another over publicized one. I like what's his name, Edward Pattinson, right?
Robert
Pattinson.
Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. Edward, Team Edward. Yeah, I love his late in life choices, or older in life choices.
Yep.
That's it. Good stuff. Tea with Jack D. Brendan, Austin from earlier. Appreciate it. We'll give you Alex again next week, and more stuff to come in the next coming weeks. Appreciate it, fellas. Appreciate you, the audience.